Good morning, gamers. Welcome back. This is your Captain Cryptic speaking. We are Banished Souls. So we're talking about Skull and Bones a little bit and the roadmap of the game ahead, what to expect in the future updates and stuff. We've had quite the experience so far. So I'm going to name some of the high points that we've seen so far in the game. So obviously the Telarosaurus. This thing was great. They say it's kind of like a mosasaur. Of course, it gets bigger as season 1 came, but this was the original one. And when you were out here in those bedders and barges and stuff, man, this thing would just wreak havoc on your ship, even on the Patagon if you wasn't careful. But now that we're getting to larger ships, we needed more of a challenge. And they met us with a great challenge. When you come into the Zamaharabu, I believe is what this thing was called. Anyway, it is just a very large version of that. And this is how you're going to get that Ouroboros armor. You can get teeth from this one and the scale, the other one, just the teeth. But this was one of for me, one of the big moments that they had, and they've got a lot of other great stuff planned obviously in there. But I love the sea monster battles. There's all kinds of different ships, ghost ships and stuff, which is great. But we want to know is, where are we going with this? So Raging Tide Season 1, looks like we are still looking at a Mangoden that's supposed to be released at some point, a new Mangoden. It's not the original one. And they brought us some new armors and some ships and furniture. So for Season 2, something we're looking at here is we are actually looking at a new fleet management option going to be put in. So with Season 1, we were mostly looking at new territories, but we're getting a fleet option. So it sounds like they may be bringing the fleet option to the game where we can start creating those in-game fleets. That's going to be great. We're going to have a Megalodon from what it looks like here in the Course of Havoc. That'll be for Season 2, guys. It looks like new ships, furniture, and weapons are going to be unleashed as well as season rewards. Then moving into Season 3, this is the one that kind of has me kind of excited. This one in 4. The reason why is you're going to be getting a PvP update from what it looks like. We'll zoom in on that just a little bit. So there is some kind of a Halloween event. It says there is a new major feature coming in, new world events, and legendary sea monsters as well, new takeover opportunities, of course, new ships, and the weapons and furniture as well. That's going to be for Season 3, guys. So this is for a roadmap for the next year. Understand, if you're missing a lot of this stuff and then you're going to come into the game later on, there's going to be some blueprints. You're going to be missing some weapons blueprints. You'll be missing. You're going to be at a disadvantage in the game. They are bringing this content in slow enough for the average gamer to come in and play. I know there's a lot of complaints about, well, this just seems like it's kind of slow. It got kind of boring pretty quick. Well, if you're bored with the game, try playing it with friends. Try looking for a group, and you want to overwhelm your ship as much as possible. If you're just going in and you're dodging everything and you're not fighting anything, then yeah, it's going to get pretty boring pretty quick. So then, of course, Season 4, we're looking at Seasons of the Deep. You're going to have a new battle mystery rival. You're going to have a Lunar New Year event, whatever that's going to look like. You're going to have new world events, more legendary sea monsters, guys. It doesn't release what it's going to be. My guess is it's going to be the Kraken that we've seen in some of the technical tests early on, but we don't really know. We're going to see new major features again into the game, so it'll be kind of interesting to see what those features are going to be. New takeover events, more ships, more weapons, more furniture. So there's going to be a constant build-up in this game. Now, for those who are like me and you're kind of like hardcore into the gaming and want to get the best materials the quickest, then yeah, you can reach a point where you get kind of stagnant. But what you want to do is start grinding your resources, okay, for the next big releases that come out. I don't know how they're going to release some of these new weapons, if they're bringing some, periodically through a season. So we still have quite a few weeks left in the Season 1 pass. That's something that we need to remember here. So as we could see, we see that we got the bark in Season 1. We have the new Coronad Covern cannons. We have the Wailing Ward armor, and we got the Lopontent schematic, which is going to help show not just the plague fleets, but it shows more weak points on some of the other ships as well, from what I've noticed. And of course, we've got the Kingpin Telarosaurus. They're not showing about the Mangoden in here, but apparently there's going to be a new Mangoden ghost ship coming out sometime around week 5 of this, if they hold to the original schedule as far as what's coming out between now and then. Understand we're fixing to come into week 3, so there may be a new boss. So it sounds like every week we're supposed to be getting a new boss. So it'll be curious to see exactly what they give us. But I'm excited about the new seasons coming up, obviously. The Felipe Lepest, he was not overly hard. It really wasn't hard at all, but it was one of those things where it's more annoying. Depends on how you fight with him. If you get a crew in, if you're going against him, you can solo him, but it's going to take you a little bit. And you better have some good weapons, and that's going to take your meta weapons that people are bashing on, saying they're not as powerful as people make it out. They are. I wouldn't tell you to get it if it wasn't a good weapon. So you definitely want to take time to collect those 8s and save up for your sovereigns and stuff and get those blueprints and then hunt down and farm out those items. Understand this is an RPG game. RPG by nature is a grindy game. So a lot of what we're seeing is from the younger generation that's coming into gaming, and they're used to just come in and spend $20 or $100 and they have everything that they want. In this, you have to earn it. It is based off of an infamy rank. If you're below Kingpin, it's going to limit some of those in-game weapons you can use. So don't hate on the game because you haven't ranked up yet would be my recommendation there. But again, the game is ever expanding. It's going to be adding new content, new ships. As far as what types of ships and armor and stuff are we going to be looking at, we won't know until they decide to start releasing that information. They have been very tight-lipped on what it is, but that's good. It's going to give kind of a lure of, some anticipation to build up, guys. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you haven't played the game, you're on the fence about it, don't believe the hype and the hate on the game. Okay, most of the people that hate on this game are the ones who cannot cheat with their PCs because they have an in-game thing. I've watched people actually try to cheat and be kicked in real time right before your eyes are boof out of the server gone. It happens. So no, it's not worth trying to cheat in the game. And another thing is a lot of people get in here and they play it on their own and they run into situations where they can't complete missions. So make sure you subscribe and get in. We got plenty of guys to play with. Make sure you comment.